Oh, what's up, Foundation? What's up, YouTube? Man, it's me, your big partner, Cartoon 53. I'm back again, man. Excuse the mask, cause I'm up here at the hospital with my wife. She had to get some stuff done, so I'm up here for that. Ain't nothing too much. But anyway, while I was sitting up here, since I'm gonna be here for a minute, I decided, I say, you know what, man, let me go out here and just make a quick little video real quick for the foundation. Then I was thinking about it. I say, you know what? I'm gonna do one for the old school. I mean, the old days. The village storyteller. It's been a while since I even went that route. I know it's a lot of people that be wondering, man, what's up with the village storyteller? What's up with the village story? What's up with the village storyteller? And like, you know, I let all y'all know, that station is gone. But anyway, just on GP, I'm gonna hit me one of them old school village storytellers. Now, for y'all that are new and don't know who or what I'm the village storyteller. Y'all might not know. The village storyteller, I had another channel called that, and where I would make up these stories, you know what I'm saying? They, just stories that I would, put together and tell for you, like listen to an audio book for the listeners' entertainment. And that's what that was. So anyway, we gonna try it again and just see how it works. Okay? Bet. Okay, I'm back, Foundation. My bad. I had to walk off for a minute. I had to come sit in the car. And since I'm sitting in the car, I can go ahead and take this mask off now. But anyway, man, let's get straight to the story. Man, this goes back a few years, man. A few years ago. Had a guy just got out of prison. He just got out of prison. He had done like 15. And the things that was going on in the world was new to him. It was new, but you know what I'm saying? With him being a fairly intelligent person, he was able to pick up on it and try to, you know what I'm saying, get everything together in his mind on how these streets was working. The homie, you know what I'm saying, he got out. When he went back to his neighborhood, we went back to his set. All his homies was glad to see him, you know what I'm saying, and he had one homie by the name of Gangster. Gangster seen potential in him because Gangster had been on the streets checking out the flow. He knew how the streets was. He knew what was popping. He knew what wasn't. And he knew in this social media game, it was a lot of money in it, and it was a way to come up without having to be out there in them streets. Gangster was an entrepreneur. He was always looking for new ways to make money. And so when his homie got out, Serial Killer, he went to him one day like, hey man, hey SK, let me holler at you, man. So his name was Serial Killer, but they called him SK for short. So he went to his partner, man. He went to his homeboy, he like, homie, cuz, check this out. He say, look, this new social media thing that's going around, he say, man, dudes out here getting a lot of money for this. Dudes out here doing pretty good on it, homie. So Serial Killer, he had heard about social media, YouTube and all that, but he wasn't really into it like that. He didn't really want nothing to do with it, but only based on the fact that he didn't know a lot about it. He just heard what a lot of people were saying. But anyway, his homie Gangster had like hipped him to the skip and was trying to show him the ropes. And Serial Killer told me like, well, cuz, look, show me how it go. You think it'll work for me? He said, man, look, I know you, homie. I'm knowing you can do this. You can do this. So he like, okay, well, cool. He say, cuz, if you say I can do it, I tried. So boom, the homie Gangster had set him up a page and got him up and running, got him up and flowing. So Serial Killer had asked him, he like, well, cuz, what do I do? How do I do it? What do I talk about? He said, man, just do you, be natural, homie. Do you, be natural, and you're gonna rise to the top. So, like I say, with the kind of individual that serial killer was, he was like, man, he was like, all right, cuz, I'm going to just talk about this, this, and this. But I ain't going to talk about that, that, and that. So his homie gangster told him, yeah, cuz, that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Talk about that, this, and that. So he like, okay. So serial killer went into it. He made a few videos. He talked about some stuff in his life, in his past, and this, that, and the other. And it started making waves. It started getting somewhere. It started doing some stuff that he didn't think it was going to do some stuff. So he really, for real, he really didn't know how good he was doing. But people around him started telling him, hey, man, you blowing up. You coming up, man. You moving up quick. You doing your thing, man. You doing your thing. So that motivated serial killer to say, you know what, cuz, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna go even harder in the paint. I'm going harder in the paint with it. So boom. So the harder he went in the paint with it, the more better he started doing. And the more better he started doing, the more subs he started getting, the more views, the more people start noticing him. The more people start reaching out, wanting, hold on to his coattails, be a part of what he had going on. They want to rise to the top just like him. But the thing is, a lot of them need to realize that this social media wasn't made for everybody. But for somehow, some way, serial killer was doing good at it. Now, of course, what serial killer didn't realize is in this social media world, man, it's a cutthroat game. It's a cutthroat game. There are no friends. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of potential enemies. You can't trust nobody. You can't do none of that. People gonna smile and act like they with you. They gonna act like they're happy for you, but it's not that type of game. And so you could get caught up in the trick bag fooling with this social media stuff because people gonna smile in your face and hate you behind your back. So anyway, excuse me. As time was going on, serial killers started getting a little bit more savvy to the game, and boom. But now, at the end of the day, he still was the individual he had always been. No nonsense, didn't play with you, didn't play a whole lot of games. Took life very, very seriously and would hurt you bad. You feel me? In them streets. But anyway, he's trying to learn to get the scoop of this social media thing. So, like I say, as time went on, he started picking up enemies, and it kind of threw serial killer because he didn't know where they was coming from. He didn't know. He didn't understand that this social media thing it breeds jealousy and hate, and he didn't know how that people would just come for him out of nowhere, out of nowhere. So when it started happening, he took it to heart. So he got into it with this one guy. This one guy that has been started trolling him and, saying stuff about him on the internet, which it wasn't really a whole lot to say. He couldn't really drag him on nothing that was true. So the guy started trolling him, just messing with him, picking at him, messing with him. And see, serial killer mentally, he wasn't equipped for that because he wasn't the type, a dude on the street or in prison that just had random individuals out of nowhere just pick at him, So he'll bust a move. Let me take this off. Excuse me. Take the rest of that mask off, y'all. Anyway, move that blue rag out the way. So anyway, when it happened, it kind of threw him at first. But now, due to the help of other people that he had met in the social media world, that, was able to give him a little knowledge and give him a little guidance and show him and tell him, hey, man, how this thing goes. He said, oh, you know what? It ain't like that. He said, but now individuals need to be taught a lesson to stay in their own lane. So boom, a lot of people didn't know what he was talking about. A lot of people didn't know what direction SK was going with this. But anyway, so he started doing his own thing. So the one individual that was always just at him, they stayed in the same city, and the dude who was at him was a straight up clown. All the way around the table was a straight up clown. He wasn't no gangster. He wasn't in the streets like that. And for real, he didn't really know how volatile it could get. He didn't know. He didn't realize it. He looking at this social media thing like it's a game. And because to him, he thought it was free, get free licks in because we ain't doing nothing but going back and forth over the internet. But SK didn't see it that way, y'all. He wasn't about that life. He didn't see it that way. So SK bided his time. He bided his time. Old boy didn't even know the whole time that he thought it was a game, that SK was in them streets and had people in them streets looking for him, hunting down where he laid his head. And so SK was doing his homework. Serial killer was doing his homework. He found out where he lived, found out that he was married, found out that he had 2 kids, found out what school his kids went to, found out where his wife worked, and found out where he worked. Was on it. And now the troll dummy was not even aware. He was super duper oblivious to the fact that he had really rubbed SK the wrong way, and that SK was on his head now. He didn't think that would happen because so many people had been in this social media going at it and getting into it and boom, 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 and nothing never really coming from about it. But he didn't realize on this one, he picked the wrong person. But he would learn. So as time went on, he was still doing his trolling thing, still getting at it. So now this is what SK did. SK went to where his wife worked. He went to where his wife worked. And his wife was getting off work. And she didn't know SK. She didn't know nothing about SK. She didn't know what SK looked like. So SK took pictures of her getting off work. Bang. Turned around. He followed her home. When she got out her car to go in the house, as she was opening up the door to go in the house, SK took pictures of that. Okay, so cool. Turn around. SK waited a couple of days. He didn't do nothing with the pictures that he had. He turned around and went to the troll's daughter's school. When she was getting out of school one day, she knew what time that her mother or her father would pick her up. He knew where she would be standing for about 10-15 minutes till her mother and her father pulled up and picked her up to go home. While she was standing there, SK got out the car and walked up on her. SK had pictures in his pocket. He had a picture of her mother leaving her job, and he had the picture of her mother opening up the door to go in the house. He handed the pictures to the daughter and said, "Look, when you get home, give these pictures to your father." So the little girl, she really didn't know who he was. She had never seen him before, and it made it even harder because he had his mask on. You know what I'm saying? He had his COVID mask on, so she didn't know what it was. She just looking. At the time, I think the daughter might have been about 11. So anyway, he took a marker out his pocket, took a blue marker out his pocket, and he opened her hand up. And when he opened her hand up, he wrote in her hand, "I'm not gonna tell you not one more time." That's what he wrote in there. "I'm not gonna tell you not one more time." And boom, put it on, and he walked off. He told her, "Hey, look, show your hand to your father when you get home." So the little girl was perplexed. She was bamboozled. She didn't know what was going on. She kept looking at her hand and looking at her hand. So she watched SK walk off. When her father came to pick her up, because her mother wasn't the one picking her up that day, when she got in the car with her father, she said, "Dad, a guy walked up and gave me some pictures and told me to show you my hand." So her father was looking at her like, "Huh? What are you talking about? What's going on?" So She gave him the pictures. He like, because he was like, what pictures? What are you talking about? She gave him the pictures. And the man sit there and seen pictures of his wife opening up the door to go into their house. And the other picture was her walking away from her job at work. So he looked at his daughter. He's like, who gave you these? Who gave you these? And she was like, I don't know him. I don't know him. What did he look like? She said, I don't know. He had on a beanie, but he had a COVID mask on. He had on a mask. He was like, huh? And she said, and then she said, look, he told me to show you my hand. So he read it. I ain't gonna tell you now one more time. What? His eyes got real big. He got scared. He got spooked. He was like, whoever this is has actually know where he lives, followed his wife home from work, followed her to work or whatever, and then went to his daughter's school and wrote on her hand. He knew who it was right then and there. He knew. He knew who he had been trolling. He knew who he had been messing with. And he realized that this dude was a gangster for real. Serial killer wasn't nothing to play with. He didn't play the social media games that all the other people was on social media doing. This dude took stuff to heart. And he told himself right then and there, oh no, I'm gonna leave this alone. I'm gonna leave this alone. This ain't my cup of tea. I need to leave this alone for real. So, you know, when he got home, he immediately made a video. And what the video was talking about was basically getting up out SK's mix. You know what I'm saying? He apologized to him. You let him know. He said, man, I don't really know you. I ain't got nothing against you, man. I don't know. He said, I was just trolling you. You know, I was just trolling you. He said, but I won't do that no more. He said, I get the picture. I got the message. Now, nobody else in social media and in the world knew what this guy was talking about. Only him and SK, only him and Serial Killer knew what was going on. And he never messed with Serial Killer again, man. And Serial Killer didn't mess with him. The moral of the story, know who you effing with. Know who you're effing with. But anyway, man, in the meantime, between time, man, that was just one of my made up stories, man. And from when I was doing the Village Storyteller, man, y'all let me know, man, if I should do more of those just like right there, little made up stories, man, on this channel, homie. Y'all let me know. But in the meantime, between time, man, y'all keep your head up, man. And don't forget, homie, I represent the gangsters. I'm out. Peace.